Today I'm not on site, but I have to attend this important meeting. This is real estate stakeholders forum involving developers, investors, real estate consultants in order to address a lot of issues that we are facing with the Lagos state government. So we are having a press review, a press conference now. So I'm going to share the video of the press conference with you. Make sure you watch this particular video to the very end because it is very vital to all Nigerians in Nigeria and Nigerians in diaspora that have interest or you have an investment in Nigeria, in Lagos State especially. Make sure you watch this particular real estate stakeholders forum 2025. So we are addressing a lot of issues. The way Lagos State are coming with different policies, the way they are, attacking the real estate sector. We are addressing all your fears, all your concerns. Make sure you watch this particular video to the very end. And you're welcome to my channel. My name is Adefunke Olaweyemi, the lead consultant of RealGold Realtors. On this channel, we don't just buy alone, we don't just sell alone, we give you value, the important information that you need to know before you invest, or if you are already invest into real estate development. So all you have to do is to click on the button, subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell and share this video. Enjoy the rest of this meeting. Thank you.
That is a prelude to what we are here to do, because I have a 40 minutes presentation to make after this press briefing. And everything centers on the need to really know who we are, uh, and to remind ourselves that real estate developers association of Nigeria did not come into existence by accident. It was well thought through by people like Professor Marco Pierre, who discussed with the then President Obasanjo in 2002 that this is a critical sector of the national economy that must be put together to form Redan spirit, the spirit and the essence of Redan. Before Redan came on board in 2002, there have been different developers across the country. Development been on forever in this country. But in the wisdom of Professor Malcolm, we get believe that they were all operating in silos. Former Minister for Housing eventually eventually birthed and led the association for 8 credible years and took Redan all over the country and established Redan in all states of the Federation. Since then, Redan has been playing this role of influencing policy, but we have not gotten there. And because we have not gotten there, that's why we see all these problems in the sector. This sector is pivotal to the national development. We, Redan members, are the key drivers of the economy. The global economy divides between 51% of the global economy resides in residential real estate. 51% residential. By the time you add other real estates like commercial, industrial, it becomes 71%. 71% of the wealth of any nation. All the likes of communication industry, oil industry, they only account for 29%. We are the movers of the 71% of this national wealth. Once we are not performing well, the nation is moving nowhere. No nation ever made progress outside the development of their real estate industry. Go to America, go to Dubai. When you mention nations, what you are saying, you are mentioning cities, and cities are made up of residential assets. So we are a major factor, and in our life in South Africa is so robust, so organized that government cannot just wake up one day and say we are increasing, we are introducing tax on building material without consulting our life in South Africa. So we are there to work together with government. Government realizes that we are critical factor. You can say we have layout. We want to develop industry here. Government can prepare master plan. But we are the one that will build the master plan. So without our activity, there is no city. Without our city, there is no nation. It's the real estate asset that is the only asset of any nation that is real. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Festus Adebayo. I represent Housing Development Advocacy Network, the pioneer NGO promoting housing in the last 20 years. We are so pleased to identify with you at this very important program, Lagos Stakeholders Forum. What brought us here is basically the need for Lagos State government to create enabling environment for the real estate sector to thrive. We are coming here with a slogan: let the developers breathe. We want them to
Breathe.
I am not seeing this program as where we talk and talk like we do in the workshop and seminars. I have been expecting, where is Mr. Tosi, Dr. Tosi? I requested for a car, and I also requested for a uniform, that we let anybody know that we left Abuja all the way to Lagos on a rescue mission. When I was coming this morning, I branched at Ogorosoki, and I saw people living under, just on a shed. The housing is a right. It is not a privilege. A government that does not cater for the housing of its citizens does not supposed to exist. So we decided also to come here and tell you that the good people who are practicing, the young especially, I can see a lot of young men here. I salute your courage. To run a real estate business in Nigeria, it is not a joke. So we understand the level of risk you have been passing through. And we are pleased to identify you today and also use this opportunity to call on the Lagos State government to allow the real estate sector to breathe. Allow them, create enabling environments. This is what we have been doing for the last 20 years. Reorientating government, showing them a direction. I'm pleased to see Professor Nubi here. He has been leading, and I'm happy he's here again today to lead. But the state government, it's time for Lagos State government to listen. I'm aware of all the good aspects they are doing, but I must say, the real estate enabling environment must be allowed to flourish. That is why I'm here. I'm here to be on the same page with you. I understand what you are passing through in diaspora. I've been there. And I know what it is now. When you say, my name is Festus Adebayo, I'm a real estate developer. They look at you twice. No, we cannot fold our hands and allow our sector to be branded a criminal sector. We say no to that. And that's why I'm here. And I'm happy to join you. Let the journey begins. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, Mr. Alfred Osagi, please can you just help us shed more light to what we aim to achieve by the time we are going back home from this forum? Thank you.
Um, Good morning, everyone, and I'm glad to be here. I will start by saying, I think in about say 30 days from less than 30 days from now, United Nations will be celebrating what we call the World Habitat Day, and the World Habitat Day speaks to the fact that shelter, the environment, the real estate landscape is very, very important to humanity, and we cannot exist out of real estate in itself. So you come into this world, it's real estate. You say you want to fly over the air, it's still real estate. Because when you go to the legal definition of land, it talks about real estate, it talks about what is on
Even
land,
when you
above
die,
land,
sef,
and even
it's real
beneath
estate.
land.
When you
And if you
die,
look at
real
wars
estate.
globally, you will see that they are boundary tied in the sense that when you say Israel is fighting with this
Yeah,
country,
yeah.
it's all about real estate. When you look at it, really, take real estate out of it. What are we talking about? Immigration crisis. So, United Nations has said their theme this year is urban response, urban crisis response, meaning that this is deepening every year. We have seen a situation where the people are sleeping on streets. You have a situation where people cannot afford to pay their rent anymore. You have situations where cost of production is skyrocketing. You have situations where people, because they want to meet up with profit in their businesses, they have to look for ways to touch that standardization. And these are things that are very, very key in a way for us in the real estate sector. Now, it's fundamentally right to note that there is nothing any economy can actually do without understanding the fact that housing speaks to the economy. And I had the opportunity to speak somewhere, and I said, the way I was trained to understand that real estate stands on two pedestals, primarily two pedestals. One is a social good and is an economic good, in such a way that every government must see real estate from those two sides. If any government looks at only the social and not consider the economy, there will be a problem. If they look at it only from the economy side, it's also going to be another issue. So what happens most times is there must be a balance. It's difficult to find that balance, and that is why proactive government looks at the economy at every point in time and says, okay, are we on the economic side this time around? How can we move a bit into the social? How can we work with the people in that same space to drive whatever we want to drive? Because when we look at artisans today in the industry, how many artisans do we have in Nigeria? I was even looking at it from the Lasera perspective. If you're regulating businesses in that sector, there's also a place of working with the industry players to also ensure certifications, to also ensure growth in terms of capacity building. You know, that deepens whatever we want to do. So in essence, in summary, what we are trying to do here is to say the stakeholders in the industry are coming together to say we need to work together, because one thing that has always spoiled industry is fragmentization, and it's important that at this point in time the real estate sector in Nigeria is coming together to bridge that gap on fragmentization. Thank you. Please jump.
I don't know if you are feeling it too.
I dey feel am o.
See, on the strength of that, I want to invite Barrister Labake.
Thank you so much for coming here. My learned senior has spoken, and Professor Nubi and all my learned people have spoken before me. But I will chip in something. The real estate developers are not agberos. Everyone is a professional in his or her own right. We are not illiterates. All developers went to school. Everyone has actually brought a lot of development, a lot of panache to the real estate sector in Lagos State. The built industry in Lagos State is not just developers building. It constitutes architects, it constitutes lawyers. There's so much. It constitutes builders. It's a whole sector that employs literally, I would say, more than 50% of the workforce in Lagos State. They are not to be played with, and none of them are illiterate. They have brought sanctity, they have brought development and purpose to a Lagos that was probably, to sectors in Lagos that were probably overlooked to a large extent. And I think that this is the time for us to rise and understand the importance of the developers and the members of the built industry in Lagos State. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you so much.